there seems to be a very different perception and position on Mr. Assange in the countries that are at the center of this, so the US and the UK, versus other parts of the world. There seems to be more interest by governments, by media in other countries in a more sympathetic way in many other countries than what we're seeing in the US and UK. I think that perhaps a reason for that is people find it hard to believe that their own governments could be responsible for basically political targeting of somebody in this way. But I really want to emphasize that in a way it's that lack of public pressure, that lack of public accountability on these governments that allows them to move forward in this way. So we have called it out in our World Press Freedom Index in both countries, as you've mentioned. And while the case is part of that scoring as well, what's happening to Mr. Assange is not happening in a vacuum. We've seen really negative trends in both the US and UK for a number of years now. I've spoken a bit about the UK already, but I'd like to go to the US because the record is even worse there. Now, 45th was a slight improvement on the ranking the year prior, but I wanted to note that the situation did not improve in the US. The year prior, it was 48th, but that's because there had been a massacre in a newsroom, at the Capital Gazette newsroom in Maryland. So other trends continued to get worse during the year. And it was this hostile approach of the Trump administration towards the media in general. So I don't think it is unfathomable that others could be targeted in this way. And I think that the reason that Mr. Assange is being singled out in this way is precisely that chilling effect. Yes, he's more vulnerable, perhaps, than a journalist that's considered resolutely a journalist that is with an established media outlet. But I think it's very clearly intended to send a signal to those particularly that would seek access to leaked documents, and then to publishers that would in turn then disseminate them publicly. But I think what we need to bear in mind is the public interest implications of this reporting, and that needs protection. And I think we need to step in now before we have many more examples of this. It is not impossible for this to continue. And I think, in fact, if they are successful, we will see a rapid acceleration in such cases.